This is all because Taylor's the biggest and the best thing. And just making sure that we're all on the same page and shit. I need to be out there having those combos.
I feel like whenever I'm on a date, I'm always like having like the sense of like I'm a man in the situation. I'm like protective. Yeah, for sure.
TravisKelce is one of the top tight ends of the Kansas City Chiefs. Having a keen, charming personality with infectious on-the-field skills, he has gained huge amounts of popularity besides the confinements of his brilliant on-field performances. Infamous goofiness that makes him so lovable, TravisKelce is one of those sports figures whom one just can't ignore. He would much rather avoid controversy over the rights of those people he loves dearly, especially the multi-talented pop icon that is Taylor Swift. But when called upon to defend an accused person, Kelce is not one to shy away from the fray. Just recently, this found him embroiled in a public spat with tech billionaire Elon Musk, infamous for holding polarizing views and making statements that are plain controversy. Musk is the CEO of Tesla and SpaceX, who has managed to be a lightning rod for controversy for many years. His polarizing opinions and brashness often have made him as much news as the companies he runs. Having used social media platforms to engage in firestorm discussions previously, it is little wonder why his recent comments toward pop sensation Taylor Swift reached levels that many even Swift's die-hard fans found unacceptable. As the rumors started circulating that there was something going on between Kelce and Swift, Kelce became eager to take up the task of protecting Swift from the jarring remarks by Musk. Generally, Musk has an element of immunity from his outspoken tongue. But this was different. These were not just political shots. It was a direct attempt to attack a level of decency and respect for an individual, especially one as revered as Swift. Now that Kelce was standing up, it was clear that to defend someone you love is not only about a love relationship, but also something that goes against the wrong when inappropriate behavior is shown. Kelce isn't one for drama. He's always set out to leave it go on and focus on the game. All this changed with Musk's comments. It wasn't just about the association he shares with Swift, but more about defending her dignity against a public figure whose words could badly harm. The ruckus stirred through social media as people from every background expressed disappointment. Such outrage was indicative of a whole message circling around accountability and how people wished public figures should be treated with the dignity they deserve. Before discussing specifics of this heated exchange, there is some import to consider the culture Musk has cultivated around himself. A man known for his attempts at edgy humor, for instance, often finds himself skating right between brilliant and disgusting. His record of spouting rather inflammatory comments goes hand in hand with his brand, and he regularly tries to connect with his audience through commentaries that generate controversy. Sometimes, though, it really backfires, particularly when that commentary comes across as neither classy nor respectful. More recently, Musk's interest in boasting about his support for former President Donald Trump has stirred up the pot, and appears to keep the door open for those on the opposing side of his opinion to continue the scrutiny. When Swift generated publicity over announcing her support for Kamala Harris after a huge debate, it was almost predictable that Musk would have attempted to break into the fray. He took, however, an unexpectedly weird twist in reaction to Swift's actions. When Swift playfully called herself a childless cat lady, a sarcastic jab at Trump's running mate J.D. Vance, Musk seized the moment to let a very disturbing comment loose. Instead of providing a snappy retort in response, he turned to declaring his intention to impregnate her. It was weird and left nearly everyone who heard and saw this feeling uneasy, probably even shocked. Whether said with a twinkle in his eye or taken literally, his words had been much too inflammatory for what most considered acceptable offense. The consequences were enormous. The comment about wanting to give Swift a child was to most an outrageous instance of sexual harassment aimed at a woman who was merely voicing her political opinions. Social media erupted overnight in criticism as people silenced nothing and turned their voices loud enough to denounce Musk for his immature remarks. Summing up with precision, one user said, Telling a woman you are going to give her a child, not to mention when she definitely shows no interest, gives off threats. Given the litany of accusations of sexual misconduct levied against him by multiple women, which he has denied repeatedly, this episode was particularly disturbing and raised critical questions about his conduct. These troubling words are part of a pattern. They follow entrenched problematic comments and behavior in Musk's public profile. The tech entrepreneur has fathered 12 children with 3 different women, and both family dynamics and conversations about reproduction have long been center stage. His fixations with low birth rates have made him a supporter of larger families to combat the perceived demographic contraction. In fact, one of Swift's fans once commented, "Taylor doesn't want a child with you. You seem desperate to get a response from her." That point well captures the friction between Musk's pronouncements and facts about Swift's life and choices. Additionally, Musk was linked to spewing the so-called Great Replacement theory. This is dangerous, unfounded conspiracy whereby certain groups allegedly plot to replace white populations with immigrants and low birth rates. Musk publicly denied fully subscribing to this theory, but his comments and actions often belie those claims. While not acceptable, therefore, on their own, Musk's comments about Swift also reflected deeper and more disturbing views that have long been part of his public voice. There are also racial undercurrents to be considered in the tweets from Musk that should be investigated further. What may pass as a throwaway line about guarding your cats with my life, while superficially not carrying any level of concern, does carry it if one considers his background and the odious narratives he's promoted. But it does suggest an anachronistic narrative in which powerful white women need to be protected from white men, which in turn fosters deeply problematic dynamics of power and control. This subtlety makes all the difference between extracting depth from those words by Musk to take what may seem little more than a harmless joke and propelling it into something truly sinister. Trying to play down his previous statement, Musk later tried to present his comments as a joke. But Taylor Swift did not sleep on his inappropriate remark, ignoring his comment. That's something that fits the profile of the way Swift addresses controversies. She takes the high road and does not get bothered by public scrutiny. She should remain focused on her music career and relationship with people who truly matter, not get troubled by the kind of publicity usually entailed by fame, but it raised protective instincts in KELCE, who was most definitely not going to let someone discredit or disrespect Swift. For KELCE, this was more than a case of defending a friend. It was a call to speak out against behavior that is flagrantly unacceptable. His passionate response was a big deal in saying that someone has to stand up for the dignity and integrity of some individual, especially in a world full of great, but sometimes untouchable figures. This is a response that delineated how Musk's comments were out of line and not tolerated. The feelings in KELCE's words resonated with most to uphold that one must stand up against disrespect at any juncture in life. In this regard, KELCE showed the guts to go straight to Musk and warn him that such talk would not be tolerated. He asserted that public personalities need to be defined by their words and the actions they produce, since they are in positions where they have the power and above the law. It becomes a serious matter in a culture where online conversations would have severe meanings. KELCE went strongly for Swift, drawing clear-cut borders between privilege and respect. The public reaction to this exchange has flooded social media, with users voicing support for KELCE's stance against Musk. People from all walks of life united to denounce Musk's words, once again proving that respect for individuals, especially women in the limelight, is massive. This collective outrage reminds everyone that inappropriate behavior will not go unchecked, no matter its origin. The whole affair underscores the complexities of the celebrity culture and public discourse. It raises crucial questions concerning responsibility, especially that of powerful people in words they utter. We walk in a world where online interactions can lead to real-time consequences. So, it is essential to note the weight of these words, for sometimes Words can either make all the difference between lifting someone up or ripping them down. It just shows that even something like this between TravisKelce and Elon Musk reminds you to respect and be held accountable. It shows the need to take a stand against certain acts, especially when it happens towards known personalities such as TaylorSwift. Kelce's response has been more of an example of protective instincts that are supposed to arise in you when someone you care about gets disrespected. This is an incident that sparks broader conversations on gender, on the working of power dynamics, and the lines that should never be crossed in public discourse. And as the years go by, standing up to disrespect and for decency will always be crucial. People like Kelce remind us that it is very much possible to address inappropriate conduct, no matter who is performing it. What do you think of this story? Comment down below. And if you've enjoyed this video, then don't forget to click the subscribe button and hit the little bell icon for a notification with every new upload. I post every week, diving into a world of your favorite celebrities and the most interesting stories.